did.
Are you okay?
I don't know.
Okay, did you call the police yet?
Yeah, I did.
I'm gonna call an advocate and you can tell us both at the same time, okay?
Hey, Sarah, your dad told me that you need help.
So, is there anything that I need to do? Or...
Just focus on getting better.
With an advocate on your side, you're never alone.
Today's the day. And look who I just met.
Hey, Dad.
You deserve a worry-free recovery. You deserve an advocate.
This is The Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find The Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, The Monty Show, live on your YouTube machine for the last time in 2024. And it's Jake's birthday today. He's 59 years old.
You know.
Happy 31st birthday, Jake.
Thank you.
How you living, little buddy?
I'm doing great, man. Going to be living much better when I'm sleeping 24 hours from now.
Yeah, Jake is 31 years old today, December 18th, 1993. Shot that wad like ain't nobody business.
Yeah, I should have left your ass on the carpet. You're lucky to be here.
Wow, really?
What?
Who would ever say such a thing?
What?
Yeah, was it a good year for you?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's a solid year, hard-working year. You know, I mean, did a lot of building, a lot of work. You know, doing a lot of things with the show. Yeah, doing a lot of things with outside the show. Like, yeah, we were just doing a lot of stuff this year.
I agree. Well, happy birthday! I am grateful for your health and your non-girl liking activities, and I just think that.
Not bad. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean, I appreciate that you are healthy and happy and not so well adjusted. And
yeah,
I hope that you have a great year. We are, as always, presented by The Advocates, theadvocates.com. The best injury attorneys in the business are The Advocates. We could not do this show without them and without you. If you get into an accident, I know a lot of people are going to be driving. A lot of people are going to be flying, traveling, out in busy places. If the worst happens, be prepared. Get to theadvocates.com 24/7, 365. Every day, any time of day, advocates.com. They're ready to serve you. A chat with an injury attorney live online. Get clear, risk-free advice when you need it most at theadvocates.com. A lot going on with the college football playoff. Oh, look at that. Maury Alvarez is already in.
Oh, so dude.
SMU will win the college football playoff. The only problem is right after they win, the team will wake up.
Okay.
So you're saying they'll be dreaming. We appreciate the $5, Maury. Hope you have a great Christmas and New Year. Yeah, I think it is the college football playoffs very interesting. And on Jake's 31st birthday, I think we start the show with Rhett Lashley losing his mind about the December portal window. I think this is a really interesting question. Should the December transfer portal window be eliminated? A lot of coaches have talked about this. Rhett Lashley, who you're going to hear from in a minute, the head coach at SMU, yesterday talked openly about the fact that he's trying to prepare his ball club for a college football playoff game while at the same time fending off the vultures who are circling over his roster trying to pluck his players in the middle of a run through the college football playoff. And Rhett Lashley advocates for eliminating the December window. So is it wrong to have a December transfer portal window when you still have teams, 12 of them, competing for the biggest prize in college football? Is it impossible to focus on coaching your football team while at the same time trying to defend your flanks? It seems on its face like, yes, that would make it very difficult. But the question that I think a lot of people have is, if you eliminate the December transfer window, aren't you limiting the opportunity for your players and all players to express their abilities and their rights now, according to the NIL House settlement anyway, to transfer at will? Jake, I think this is one of those things where if you eliminate this December transfer portal window, you are going to have those dreaded intended consequences.
Right. And I think that's exactly what this whole conversation is about and what this whole conversation hinges on. I mean, at some point, someone's got to come out and say that this is just what we have to deal with. I understand that there's a lot of inconveniences. The system is not perfect. There's not a one-size-fits-all solution. But the reality of the situation is, whether it's Rhett or Dabo or Kirby Smart or whoever the hell you want to point to, all these guys are out here complaining about a system that was literally created because everybody was saying that there were envelopes being handed out under tables and there was a bunch of illegal activity and kids couldn't make money and kids deserve to make money. Okay, well, now that we are open about it and we don't have to play this little cat and mouse game about kids making money, now we have this situation where coaches are upset that there's transfer portal windows at the end of the regular season. And that's the portion that I think that Rhett just misses. We're not talking about the regular season here, man. I got news for you, Rhett. With all due respect, and you've had a hell of a year. I think you're doing a phenomenal job. It's nothing to do with you as a football coach per se, but you're not understanding that you and 11 other teams are the only ones playing. There's a boatload of other teams out there that are actually out here trying to improve their roster, that are out here trying to add talent. And I think that's the hard part, is that this is college football playoff teams trying to have it both ways. Hey, we got into the college football playoff. We've got, other coaches and other teams out there trying to take kids off our roster, but we're going to cry, woe is me, because the kids are in finals and there's all this pressure. And I just think that at some point we have to be able to say, look, man, this is the system. You want to play D1, Power 4 football? You want to play at the highest level?
No, do you want to buy your way into?
Yeah, do you want to buy your way into the situation, right? Well, this is what you have to deal with.
In a video in the video tray that Jake has titled Rhett Lashley Bitching.
Yeah.
Here is SMU football coach Rhett Lashley talking about the December transfer portal window.
I mean, it's terrible. I feel so awful for our kids and kids around the country. We talk about making a system that is all great for them, but we haven't. I mean, that's part of your job as adults, is to do what's best for young people, not what they want necessarily. And they don't want this. Yes, they want the ability to transfer and go where they want to go if they don't like their situation. Yes, they want the ability to make money on their name, image, and likeness. Neither one of those are bad things. There's no other sport at all that has free agency in the season. It's sad. It's terrible. You hear the story about their backup quarterback saying, "I don't have a choice." That's wrong. That's unacceptable. That's not okay. He shouldn't have to make that decision. Preston here is doing the same thing. Now, he has chosen to stay with us, and we're working with him, but it's still a juggling act for him. Oh, and let's not forget they're in finals right now. So, yeah, the real easy thing is you don't have a transfer portal in December.
You do have a choice. And this is the part that I think a lot of people don't want to talk about. You do have a choice. This crying wolf and everything's terrible. This is how we wound up where we are right now with this transfer portal situation. If your team's in the playoff and you transfer, you're walking away from a chance to win a championship. I understand that opportunities get limited. The longer and longer you wait, the more quarterback jobs are taken. That's the reality of your situation, right? At some point, we can't try to make these situations perfect for everybody. Is being a college football coach difficult? Yes. Is December in the college football playoff and working with the portal difficult? Yes, but you make millions of dollars. Shut up and coach your football team.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing about these guys where the system doesn't work in one aspect, so the whole thing's broken. No, it's not. Would it be great in a utopic, perfect society if we didn't open a transfer window until the day after the college football playoff championship game was decided? Sure. But what about early enrollment? What about bowl practices? What about all of these things that happen in December, January, February? If you don't open a transfer window until January 15th, spring practice is gone for a lot of kids because the semester has already started. So if Preston Stone wants to transfer and he can't do that until January 15th, he can't go and be part of that football program until I think it's July is when he would be at the earliest able to be part of a new football program. Do you understand how difficult that makes it on the kid? Your unintended consequence is Preston Stone can't compete for a starting job at his next university.
Yeah, and I just think that guys like Rhett and any of these other coaches that you hear talking about this, Buddy at Boise State, Brian Kelly, like any of these dudes, they're all out here complaining. And as I, captioned the thing, bitching about the transfer portal. And all I have to say is it not a mistake right now in the bigger picture? If we take a step back and set the transfer portal portion of the conversation aside for a moment, should Rhett Lashley be talking about the transfer portal, or should he be talking about how in year one they won the league and they're cooking? That's what I'd be talking about.
If it were me, I would systematically change college football in the way that it's executed on the calendar, right? The biggest issue is we have this big fallacy that these kids are here for an education. They're not, right? So what is the problem that eliminating the December portal window creates? Spring practice, ability to compete for a job. Okay. Well, if a kid can't enroll in school, so he can't be part of the football program because the only way that you can practice or be around the team, whatever, the only way you can get benefits, grant money, housing is to be enrolled at the school. So the question is, can we, start spring practice in April instead of February and March? Well, that doesn't solve the problem. So I think what you have to do is and here's where we get into more lawsuits, you would have to have a system that allows kids to enroll January, whatever. You'd have to have that system in place. And I think that's very difficult to do. I think if a kid could enroll in January 15th in classes and not miss any time, I think that solves a lot of problems. But I also think we should start fall camp, not August 1st. I think you should start fall camp in middle to late July. I think you should start playing games in middle to late August so that the season ends in my opinion, before Thanksgiving. The week before Thanksgiving, the season should be, the final game should be played. Yes. Then you give yourself a chance to breathe, give yourself that 2-week window, and start playing playoff games in December.
Yeah.
That's what I would be doing if this is the problem you're trying to solve.
Yeah, and that's kind of my point, is that there's no one-size-fits-all solution here. And every day it seems like there's somebody who's complaining and saying the system is just horrible, and we're doing like he goes on to talk about how like adults aren't doing their job, and like, you know, we're not doing right by the kids. And the reality of the situation is like the system is the system. The kid, there are clearly loads of players thriving in this system.
You asked for this.
Yeah, and that's the part.
You asked for
that's hard to get around. Is that you know, the SMUs of the world wanted more access. So what did you do? You bought your way in. You then chose to participate in the House settlement, and you wanted more options for your kids, so they can go wherever they want to go.
And I'd remind you, and this is the part that, again, guys like, I think the only guy in the country who's not complaining about this and who totally embraces it is what it is Deion Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is the only guy that would tell you, hey, he doesn't like the system, but it is what it is, right? You got to remember, it's college football. Do you really think the administrators at SMU give a rat's ass that you're having to deal with the transfer portal during the playoff?
No.
They're trying to run a university, bro.
He said, right? Hey, by the way, the kids are in the finals. Okay, cool. That's their responsibility.
You're at a major institution of education.
Did you forget the portion about student athlete? Like, it's what it is.
I think we create all this drama. I don't know how to fix this. I'll be honest with you. I have no idea how to fix this. I'm tired of everybody claiming that every time something changes, it's broken, and it got to be.
Yeah, let's not make the assertion there's like a car that's lit on fire here and the whole system's burning
down. Does this really have to be fixed? The answer is no. This is akin, and this is the Mike Gundy complaining about, negotiations are over. You're a football coach in college. Negotiations are never over.
Yeah.
They're never over.
Yeah, and by the way, I love the comment about how no other sport has free agency in the regular season. I got news for you.
You're wrong.
You're wrong. Because in the NBA, free agency is always happening.
And
trades and free agency and transactions are always going
on.
down.
I would also remind you that any major soccer league has transfer windows. Like, you're not the only one. You're not the only one. I understand that empowering kids financially has created unintended consequences.
Yeah, you're still in the college football playoff in year one in the ACC. So stop complaining and start appreciating.
And I think what you're seeing is a lot of kids are in the portal, and it's the Fighting Dillinghams that I always talk about. Here's another guy, Kenny Dillingham, and I saw the comments the other day. Stop sucking off Kenny Dillingham.
Oh, I'm gonna keep sucking off Kenny Dillingham, dude.
This cat that is an Arizona fan, and he's been a listener of the show back to the shitty radio station in Phoenix, talking about how Kenny Dillingham isn't this great coach. And I don't care if he's a good coach or not. Kenny Dillingham gets it.
For our guys that are going in the portal, we've met with most of our guys that are going in. Our guys have the opportunity to stay on our football team. Like, they're like, well, we'll go in at the end. I go, no, that's not fair to you to go in after our run is over. Like, I want you to have the best opportunity to find a spot. You can go in right now, day one. We'll help you find a spot and stay on our football team if you want to stay on our football team, and let's go on this ride together the rest of the way. But I didn't want those guys to feel like they had to wait to go in because they wanted an opportunity to have a bigger role for a program until after the CFP. I think that would have hurt their chances. So I made it very clear to the guys that you can stay on the team as long as you do what you're supposed to do, just like you're on the team. Go to meetings, show up, be 5 minutes early, check in, weigh in, go to workouts. Even if you go in the portal here, that doesn't affect me at all. That's just us being on the same page, trying to help you achieve what you want to achieve in your career.
It's not that difficult.
It's really not.
Right? To me, if a kid wants to transfer, you are being punitive sorry, I'm not trying to use big words, but you're punishing him if you say, well, then get the hell out of here. If a kid wants to transfer, let him transfer, but that doesn't mean he shouldn't go through your bowl run.
Pack this thing up. We're out of here.
Does Penn State really need their quarterback, their backup quarterback, to step away from the team? No, it's not. Let him stay with the team. Unless he is an absolute problem or a cancer in the locker room, whatever, there's no reason to ostracize kids.
It's my quarterback.
Right? This is the targeting. Remember when if you got called for targeting and you were ejected, they made you leave the sideline? Why did we change that? Because there's no reason to ostracize the kid. Why ostracize or punish them more?
Take his helmet.
Right? Yeah. And that's exactly what they do. So let the kid play on the team. And if he wants to transfer after your run's over, great. Let him transfer. Kenny Dillingham and Deion Sanders have perspective. Rhett Lashley does not.
Agreed.
And I get it. It sucks if you're a coach. It absolutely sucks. Do you really think that having a transfer window in December is bad for the kid? I got news for you. It's not. It's not. It's bad for the coach and the coaching staff because it's a distraction for them.
Yeah, it's just the classic, how do you view this situation, right? I mean, it's the classic, hey, you can be positive with it or you can be negative with it, right?
Yes.
We can sit here and cry a river, or we can sit here and talk about how much it's improved SMU and how much SMU has benefited from it, and how much the transfer portal has allowed them to add talent that has inevitably, helped them go on this college football playoff run. Like, that's what surprises me about what Red is doing right now. I've known him to be, in his time at SMU, to be someone that, generally speaking, is a positive guy, is looking to bring that kind of energy. He's not someone that's like always negative and always like, speaking down on stuff. But so I was surprised when he came out and took this stance and chose to use the college football playoff media availability to talk about some broken system and some terrible environment.
Or talk about Preston Stone. And like, you're really going to make Preston Stone stop being around the club, a captain on your football team, because he's in the portal and he's looking for a new job. He can't be around your team anymore. That's a you decision,
Yeah,
Red.
dude. That's not a system decision.
Yeah, it makes me crazy because Brett Lashley's a good coach.
Yeah.
And by all accounts, he really actually does care about his players.
But there is a ton of hypocrisy in what he's saying.
I don't agree with it. That's a big word. Are you using bigger words because it's your birthday?
31, like I can really start to step into my own and use bigger words and move on from single vowel words,
I think I should be the one to get gifts on your birthday. I mean, I'm the one that gave birth to you.
I doubt that.
Right. Well, I didn't technically pop you out of my squat, but my point is I made it possible.
Right.
I took a bullet for you to be born.
Right.
I mean, let's get to the comments section. As always, who's the last one in? Let's not read the top comments. Jay McClenahan. Here is where it would get bad. If there becomes more money to lure kids away from the top 12 in college football playoff before it begins and possibly pull a Marshall, that would be the only way. Marshall withdrew from their bowl game but are kids really walking away from who's the worst team in the college football playoff? Clemson? Boise? Are you walking? If you're on the Boise State football roster right now?
No, you're not walking away. And by the way, again, with all due respect, Jay, appreciate the comment, man. If you're on a roster that's in the college football playoff and you're a portal kid and you're getting an offer from another program, you're going to take the offer, but you're still going to play in the games.
And I would go as far as to say, if we have 105 on a roster, right?
Yeah.
If you're top 75 on that roster, you're not walking away. You're playing meaningful reps.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a true freshman, if you're one of those kids Dion talks about, if you're a true freshman that's redshirting and you get in the portal, okay, great. Good luck. Right? But that's not who we're talking about. But who's the major star that's walked away from their football team and walked away from the college football playoff in the portal? You just don't see it. And I would go as far as to say, if a major star walks away from a team in the portal while they're in the college football playoff, that kid's not probably going to get a job somewhere. Because who wants that kid? Your team if one of your top 22 players, right, a starter on offense or defense,
right,
walks away from your team in the college football playoff for a portal offer, I would be stunned.
It's an indictment on you, bro.
Yeah, your character.
It's not an indictment on the new team.
It's an indictment on the kid's character and the culture in that locker room.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine that. Eric in Raleigh, if my opponent in the college football playoff has a backup QB entering the portal, I'm offering as much money as I can to get that kid to give me information about his old team.
Okay.
Maybe. And donuts. Spencer at Boise said yesterday they're open for transfers to play out in the bowl prior to leaving.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's like you're not gonna, like, if you're doing this the right way, you're taking the Dillingham approach, the prime approach,
Dilly.
You're letting these kids play the bowl game, play the CFP game, and then they can get on with the business of it.
Lopes fan Gabe says hit the like button. Lopes fan Gabe going savage in the comment section on me yesterday, saying that we were only talking about Michael Vick for 2 hours of content.
We didn't talk about Mike Vick the whole time.
No, we talked about Mike Vick for like 37 minutes, I think, yesterday or something.
What do you mean, bro?
We'll talk. He took the job at Norfolk State, by the way. So did not take the job at Sac State. And I think we'll talk about it in about 40 minutes. We'll get to Mike Vick at Norfolk State. But appreciate you hitting the like button, Gabe. See, here's the thing that I appreciate on this show. Even though it's Jake's birthday today, I'll bring this up. I think we need to have important conversations because so many other people won't do it. But we've gotten to a place now where, and I went to the top of the comments, look at Mike Smith's comment here. Mike Smith doesn't want to talk about Mike Vick because he's got pit bulls himself. And I understand that. But I think it's one of those conversations we have to have.
Mm.
That's what I think See, I don't view us as like we're special and unique. We're not. We're just a bunch of dudes who get together every day and we talk about the biggest stories in sports. I mean, at the core of the show, isn't that what we do?
Mm-hmm.
So if we're avoiding transfer portal, or if we're avoiding Mike Vick, or wait till you're Jerry Jones talk about eating raccoons.
Oh dear. Oh my.
Bill Belichick's nipples. Like, we have to be, if we're going to talk about a dude's nipples, don't we have to talk about Mike Vick and getting the head coaching job at Sac State? I think we do. And I appreciated Lopes fan Gabe having such a passionate comment about it.
Yeah.
And I don't take that personally. I think it's really important that we have those conversations. Welcome to the nightmare. Good morning, guys. Looking forward to a great last show of 2024. Eric in Durham, the Big 12 sucks. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not talking about that.
Great last show or last great show? I guess we'll find out next.
Yeah, apparently.
Exactly. 2024 Aztec football, good riddance. Yeah, seriously. Seriously. Can we move, guys? Hey, thanks for coming, West Virginia. Thankfully, that season's over. Right. Rock and Rant. Good morning, Rock and Rant. Haven't seen you in a minute. Good morning. Thanks for for alternatively making me totally agree with you and wanting to never watch you again throughout the year. You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome, bro. That's kind of what we do on this show, you know?
That's what that right there, Rock and Rant. That's exactly right. That's what this show's about. I don't ask you guys to agree with us. I ask you not to be idiots about your disagreements.
That's what they do.
Like, I love having an exchange of ideas. I don't have to agree with you. That doesn't make you wrong. You don't have to agree with me. It doesn't make me wrong. Unless you're Eric and Raleigh. I'm telling you right now, bet a Boise State loss like the game has already been played.
Damn.
Yeah, no duh.
Dev MC says, happy birthday, Jake. Force Ghost Fabio, hello. Do we read just every comment today, no matter what? Last show of 2024.
Yeah, I mean, I think things that are available in the comment section are, what are your guys' holiday plans? You know, what do you think of this conversation we're talking about with Rhett Lashley?
Yeah.
You know, it's the last show. I mean, have fun with it, man.
Jay Chapman, portal shouldn't open until January 15th. And a lot of people are using that date. And I just...
Yeah, hey.
The portal only exists for the kid. It doesn't exist for the team.
Yeah.
Right? The portal exists for the kid. January 15th is not good for the kid. And Jay, maybe you have an idea of what you think about that. Lopes fan Gabe for $5. If coaches start taking the dilly approach, I love that we're calling him dilly. Dilly. And again, I in the comment section, do you guys like Kenny Dillingham? He's not for everybody. There's a large group of people, they mostly live in Tucson, who think he's like a fake cartoon character type guy.
Right.
I think he's incredibly genuine. And there ain't a whole lot I like about Arizona State, I'll be honest with you. Bobby Hurley's a dick. Michael Crow is, well, yeah.
Michael Crow.
You know. There's not a whole lot I like about Arizona State. I don't know how you root against Arizona State and Kenny Dillingham football. I don't know. How long until we see the first kid take an injury while in the portal but finishing out the season? That's really interesting. So you get in the portal. You're transferring and then you blow your knee out. Or your scrotum tears. It's Jake's birthday after all.
Think that's HIPAA?
I think that is HIPAA. Don't think we can disclose that one.
I'm going to go ahead and pass on that.
You get injured while you're in the portal. Ooh. Isaac Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys see Isaac Wilson at Utah? Coming back to Utah. Put his name in the portal, pretty much dipped his wick. Didn't like what he found, came back to Utah. It's an interesting point, Gabe. I think that's a really interesting question. You guys know we're going to see that.
Yeah.
We're going to see
Schemers.
RX. It's insane that SMU was able to keep Rashee Rice.
Yeah.
When will 2-year contracts come into play? Well, that's something else a lot of people are talking about. Because look how many kids aren't opting out of bowls this year. Some are. Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, they opting out of bowl games? They're not. A lot of people aren't. Bo did what he believed to be best for his football future. So as a Penn State fan, I hate the timing, but I get it. Rock in a hard place.
Stay hard.
I agree. I think if you're a second-tier quarterback, and Bo certainly is a second-tier quarterback, right? That has an opportunity to compete for a starting job, how do you say no to that? I don't think you can. I really don't think you can. I don't know how. I don't think you can. But that's just me. Smash the numbers, Ferris Khan. Good morning, Ferris. SMU has the same logo as a Ford Mustang, only in reverse.
Man, that's just that the depth of that comment is just incredible to me. You know.
So I went to Chipotle yesterday for lunch. Took my dog with me. I got out of the old Jeep, and there was a Ford Mustang 350 GT 350 track pack sitting in the parking lot. And the greatest moment of my day yesterday was the 70-something-year-old man who walked out of, there's a pizza place next to Chipotle, near Chipotle. He walks out of the pizza place with a slice of pizza in a box. And he's standing in front of the car eating the pizza. And I said to him, "You're not going to take that piece of pizza in the car, are you?" He said, "Absolutely not."
Nope. Hell no.
And then you know what he did? I said to the guy, "You're going to have to start that for me." And it is if you have not stood behind a Mustang GT 350 and a 500 even more, the sound of that car when it's got and it comes stock with a beautiful exhaust system on it. So good.
What's an erection?
Bright yellow with a black racing stripe and the most beautiful diffuser on the back. Oh my God. I'm not a Mustang guy. I would take that Mustang.
That Mustang is nice.
He said that he has a 1960 something, I think, fastback in his garage under a cover. He loves his Mustang so much that he has a floor heater built into his garage so that the seals don't shrink during the winter. That's a dude who loves his cars.
Committed.
So, Ferris, good job this morning. Good to see you, my friend. Calford, how are you, bud? Cal has our starting quarterback transferring out, indeed. Indeed. And donuts. Spencer, I read that one already. I'm a terrible person. Please forgive me. Chad, how we feeling?
I'm back for more Mike Vick talk.
How we feeling this morning? Because I think you'd rather talk Mike Vick than if you're going to win a playoff game.
And with all due respect,
bro, now your only saving grace is that you're not going to have to come in here and take a beating on Monday after this game that you lose over the weekend.
Man, I want Ohio State to win so badly.
You just can't believe in it, dude.
For Ohio State fans, but the Chad Carter, Mike Vick hangs Christmas decorations on October 1st. So are we going to play the Mike Vick's the type of guy who ... hangs Christmas ornaments?
All right, I'll allow it. It's the last show of the year, dude. I'll allow it. You guys want to have fun with that? Go ahead.
Oh, Jake's going to allow
Go
it
ahead.
now.
Yeah. I won't blow you guys up over it. Go ahead.
Okay.
Hyenas.
UW fan Jim. How about Big Penix Energy?
Does he see the field before the season's over?
Yeah, he's starting.
Did they announce that?
Well, not technically, but Michael Penix is the starting quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons. And I think, do you guys understand that they're paying Kirk Cousins $62.5 million this year? And he has $100 million guaranteed. And if he gets cut post June 1st, they'll have $25 million in dead cap money for the next 2 years. 25 this coming year and 25 in 2026.
So is the thought that he's going to start, or they've said?
No, I think I don't want to,
because I know that this is kind of a, not to get sidetracked, but this has been a big deal for the Falcons. Like It's been a conversation all week long. There's been a bunch of drama.
Kirk
around
Cousins
it.
has been benched.
Yeah.
So I think they have been very careful. And I don't want to speak out of turn. But yeah, he is. Adam Schefter said he's starting. So it must be true. Did you guys see what Adam Schefter did to Doug Gottlieb?
Dude.
Bro. You want to see some
catching a body, dude.
You want to see some craziness? Where is that? You want to see some craziness? Doug Gottlieb.
Go back up.
Where?
Here in the videos. Yeah.
My
right
bad.
there, right there.
My bad. Doug Gottlieb is kind of a dickhead.
Yeah.
He's not a bad guy. He's just
that dude in the room that you know is going to say something stupid, but like it's just a matter of time.
You want to see him at Thanksgiving dinner, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Right? You definitely don't want to golf with him. So Adam Schefter tweets about Sac State and Mike Vick. To which Doug Gottlieb says, Jesus, Shefty, edit what agents tell you. 0.0 chance Sac State has $50 million in NIL. Adam Schefter, the Sac-12 leading the school NIL efforts, already announced it's reached its initial goal of raising $50 million in NIL funds to strengthen the school's case for an invitation to the Pac-12 and the Mountain West. Look at the last one. And Jesus, Doug, a 7-game losing streak and last in the Horizon League. Less time on social media, more time in the gym.
Yeah. Yeah, Doug.
The only thing that Schefter missed was, and more time in the gym, ... Bud. That's the only thing he missed there. This is what I mean about guys like Doug Gottlieb. Doug Gottlieb likes him some Doug Gottlieb.
Mm-hmm.
But Doug Gottlieb, a dickhead.
Got humbled, bro.
He is, yeah, he
so
absolutely isn't that Adam Schefter absolutely trucking Doug Gottlieb?
Yeah, being a G, dude. Yeah, bro.
And last in the Horizon League.
I'm
Doug.
sorry, which league?
Hey, Doug. Hey, Doug.
Damn.
Isn't Doug one of those names, right?
Come on, let's go, Schleprock.
What a dick, right?
Yeah,
like you're just like,
you are, dude.
Doug.
Like I don't understand why Doug Gottlieb thinks that he's the best thing since sliced bread, dude.
Doug.
Oh, what a loser!
Hey, Doug.
Like, come on, bro. Be better than that, man.
What when you say what name do you say and you're like, that guy's a dick?
Aaron Rodgers.
Why would you bring that up? I'm trying to talk about portal windows. We'll talk about Aaron Rodgers next hour because it's what he said on the Pat Show is. Are you having trouble watching Pat? I can't. I tried the other day and I can't.
Haven't watched him in months, legit.
Yeah. But anyway, Doug is that name.
Yeah.
Matt Ritson for $2. Happy birthday, Jake. Yesterday, Mr. Birthday Monty.
Yesterday was my birthday, I think he's trying to say.
Oh, yesterday was your birthday, Matt. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, bro.
Ferris, happy birthday, Jake. Have a super deluxe day.
Thanks, bro.
Tom Dean. Mike Vick is the kind of guy who doesn't know how many holes are in the straw.
Dude, chill.
You're not wrong.
How many holes are in the straw?
Random. I knew somebody was going to go here. Doug, credit card theft, Gottlieb.
Yeah.
Well,
nice job, Doug.
Yeah. You know, JC, your thoughts on Colorado State and USU suing the Mountain West?
I think it's just more of the same.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody wanted to talk about this, and I like.
Haven't we talked about this already?
Ad nauseum, dude. Like,
so if you didn't see, the Pac-12 is suing the Mountain West to get out of paying poaching fees. Colorado State and Utah State jointly filed a lawsuit saying that the exit fees are punitive and prevent interstate commerce. basically mirroring the language that the Pac-12 used. We've been down this road
again and again and again, dude.
There's no way. Go back to the original Pac-12 lawsuit.
Yeah.
There's no way to get away from the contracts and the charters that you sign in these leagues.
Yeah.
It's never happened. And I will continue to tell you that I talk to when these lawsuits happen, generally I talk to this one contract lawyer who every single time tells me the same thing. You willingly signed this. When you signed your agreement and your grant of rights with the Mountain West, did anybody have a gun to your head?
No.
Were you high on cocaine?
Nope.
Were you mentally disabled?
Nope.
So how are you going to make the argument that now the exit fee is punitive and against commerce and interferes with commerce?
I don't know. I don't know if I don't know quite. I don't quite know how to answer that, to be honest.
That's the difference. You're not.
Because you know what the other part of this, and I did not think of this. My lawyer friend thought of this. What is the exit when you leave the league early and you walk away from a contract you signed? What are you doing? Oh, couldn't that be described as interfering with commerce in the Mountain West? Which is the exact same response they gave when the Pac-12 sued.
Yeah.
And said that the poaching fees were punitive and against interstate commerce. Well, stealing our members, and now those members leaving and saying that they don't want to pay their exit fees, which they're contracted to pay, which you're contracted to pay those poaching fees. Isn't that against commerce as well?
Yeah.
Here's the other part of the contract law that you don't want to hear about. So let me get this right. You think you're going to break the contract that you signed to be in this league and leave without an exit fee, and you think there's no damage done to our brand because you broke a contract? Because let's remember, what is a contract? It's an agreement between you and me. Signed in good mind, good faith. And here's the part. What does good faith mean? You're going to do your very best, ethically and effort-wise, to execute the terms of this contract that you agreed to.
Yeah.
If you leave early, are you doing your very best to execute the terms and conditions that you agreed to in that contract?
No.
No. If you leave early by not executing the contract, does that cause irreparable damage to our business? Yes. So let me get this right now. You're suing, saying that the exit fee is damaging to you and prevents commerce. Commerce means business. You from doing business. What happens to us when Boise State leaves? That prevents us from doing business. What happens when San Diego State leaves? It prevents us from doing business.
But you don't want to talk about that.
Unintended consequences.
Good try.
And the thing that I think a lot of people, and you may not know this, and I'm not trying to be arrogant, or again, I'm not the one who came up with this, but when you sue somebody, why do you think people try not to be the one filing their divorce? Have you guys ever thought through divorce? Because divorce and contract law are very similar. Why do you not want to be the one to file for divorce? Because then what are you doing? You're putting in writing your entire argument as to why you believe the judge should dissolve your contract of marriage. So let me get this right. If you're the Pac-12 and you filed suit against the Mountain West, you've just laid out your entire case. And so now all they're going to do is pick that argument apart. It gives the party that you are suing has a tactical advantage when you're the one that files the paper.
Yeah.
And usually when you file the paper first, in contract law, almost always, when you're the one that sues to get out of a contract, you almost always lose.
Right.
Almost, I mean, you go back and look at case law, almost always in contract law, the person suing to get out of, to dissolve a contract almost always loses. The party who countersues or the party who sues to enforce the terms of the contract almost always wins.
Yeah.
And what are those? How are those suits usually filed? In retort, in response to. It's almost impossible, JC, to win these suits. Almost impossible, because you generally do not have a leg to stand on.
Yeah.
It's really difficult. Really, really difficult. And we'll see what happens. My guess is most people believe that the Mountain West and the Pac-12 are quite far down the road in negotiations. Neither one of these two wants to be involved in this.
No, but the Mountain West is going to get that pound of flesh.
They will get a pound of flesh. It's just going to matter how many pounds of flesh.
Yeah.
Because
they will be made whole.
I think they will be.
Yeah.
Because
and I just don't know why you wouldn't play hardball here. Why would you not hold their feet to the fire to this paper? Why would you not, do exactly what he's just laid out, not to be repetitive? Like, why would you not just say, hey, you signed the contract, like you signed it in good faith, not under duress, like we agreed to this, and now all of a sudden you want out because you made a decision to go join another conference. That's not our problem. That's your problem. Like, you should have accounted for that.
And I just and notice the ACC fans and Florida State fans have backed off they've backed off their red assery, because what I told you then, which is the same thing I told you about the Pac-12 and the Pac-2 lawsuit, is the same thing I'm going to tell you in this one. There's zero precedent for a judge to rule in favor of the filing party in these cases.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen. It's so difficult. These are all, the word that was used to me was, this is an instrument to get, that you're using that instrument to get an end result, which is let's negotiate these exit fees down.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So that's probably too far.
But again, this is why we didn't talk about it, because it's the same conversation. Again, there's nothing that's changed.
Yeah. Paul Bagansky.
Hey, Bags.
Bad comparison with divorce. Women file 85% of the time and win cash and prizes for men. 80% of the time, been there, it sucked. But when you look at the way most garden variety divorces are not, hey, he filed versus you filed, right? Most divorces, and it depends on net worth, and most not Hollywood divorces, it's not, hey, this guy's filing against you. If you're smart and you have good attorneys, they will mutually agree to a settlement that a judge will approve, and he will then dissolve your marriage. Divorce court, on the whole, there's so many different. Divorce court always favors the women, almost always, especially in custody. But when you look at Hollywood big divorces, big money divorces, which is the comparison I'm making, the person who files the lawsuit who files for dissolution is either almost always ready to pay. Like, you look at Adele's divorce.
Man.
The husband filed for divorce and asked for a mountain. And she negotiated that down. But it's very difficult. And throw out divorce. Use any contract law you want. Like, it is really difficult. If you signed a contract, it's really difficult to sue unless you have clear and obvious breach of that contract. It's very difficult to sue and win. Divorce sucks. Dude, divorce sucks, Bags. There's no good ending to that. UW fan Jim, I'm baking eggnog cheesecakes.
Attaboy.
Why would you bring up cheesecake?
I'm not an eggnog guy, but I love cheesecake.
Mrs. Monty and I were at the grocery store the other night. Our grocery store locally in Utah is a place called Harmon's. You know those coolers that they have that sit in the middle of the store?
Yeah.
There was this case, this cooler.
This case
was full of just like 7,000 different kinds of eggnog. And my wife
is empty.
My wife loves eggnog.
Yeah.
I might have to try it this year because she loves it. I feel really bad that I don't like coffee. I feel very bad. I feel really bad that I don't like coffee. It's a bummer, man. It is truly a bummer. And I hope that at some point, I don't like wine. My wife is a wine connoisseur, even though she doesn't really drink that much. I don't like coffee. My wife might as well be a barista because she loves her some coffee. My wife loves Indian food. Give me some meat, give me some pita. I ain't doing hummus. I ain't doing curry.
Yeah, I'll take Greek food over Indian food, bro. I'll take my my gyro, my Greek yogurt, my lamb.
But I always feel bad about that. So anyway, it is what it is. JC, but this is separate from the Pac-12 and is at the state level in Colorado, right? But you have to win a case like this, JC, you have to have precedent. Because Colorado State cannot claim to be an aggrieved party. There's just no
connection.
There's no, and again, just go, what are the tenets of a contract dispute? Okay, well, who's in breach of contract? In all seriousness, Colorado State and Utah State are suing the Mountain West, claiming to be the aggrieved party. But who's actually in breach of contract? Colorado State and Utah State are in breach of contract because they are leaving the conference early.
Yeah.
Before the contract is expired.
Yeah.
So they're not fulfilling their end of the contract. So if you are in breach and there is an obvious breach, I don't know that there can be a more obvious breach than this. And essentially what's happening here is the Mountain West is saying, okay, you're in breach of contract, cure your breach, fix your breach. Your breach is either you stay in the league, you're not, or you pay the monetary fee you agreed to when you signed the contract. Okay, so what do you need to overcome that argument? The Mountain West would have had to have done something irreparable that harmed you, that you serve them notice, hey, this is harming us, we're leaving. Okay, Florida State. Hey, you allowed SMU, Cal, and Stanford into the league. It damaged the value of the league. You need to make us whole. How did that work out? Because that's the argument that Florida State made against the ACC. Very similar disputes, Florida State and Clemson versus the ACC, Utah State and Colorado State against the Mountain West, only those two schools are actually leaving and have a destination. But they're essentially saying, hey, you damaged us by adding SMU for free, Clemson, or Stanford and Cal. But what breach is being alleged by Colorado State and Utah State? They're saying that the fees are punitive and that it's interrupting their ability to do business. Well, yeah, but right, that's the contract you signed. So you don't have, at the state level, I don't care if it's at the 7-Eleven level, you don't have, Colorado State and USU can't claim to be the aggrieved party when they're the one breaching the contract.
Yeah. It's not rocket science, bro.
You know. Sweet potato pies and crumkaki.
Okay.
That's different than...
Bro, did you just say crumkaki?
Which is different than boo... Never mind. For
Macaque.
Christmas. Hey, don't bring up monkeys. I'll send you some in Hawaii if you pay the shipping. I'm not going to Hawaii. You can send them there.
I mean, you can send them there. I mean, I'm sure the homies out there will enjoy it.
I won't.
Yeah.
You know. We're going to
Los Angeles,
Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Laguna Beach, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Mesquite, back to Salt Lake City. My wife is currently sitting next to me here in the studio. We bought a Peloton, refurbished Peloton. What'd I give Jake for his birthday? Jake, what'd I give you for your birthday?
Your old Peloton.
Handed him down a Peloton. essentially $1,700 in value. So I put my fat ass on the new Peloton, broke the pedal. I don't think I broke the pedal. So the guys come and deliver the Peloton.
Yeah.
They stripped the because the pedals screw in and they're hard to unscrew. Trust me, I had to do it last night. They stripped it. And so the pedal was not sitting flush. So it started wiggling its way out. And the other night when I was on the Peloton, like when I was going super fast, right? I would hear this click. And then like 4 or 5 strokes later, click. I was like, what the? I thought because the shoe you use is called a cleat and it locks into the pedal. I thought the cleat on the bottom of my shoe had come loose. I didn't even think twice about it. Mrs. Monty's doing her, frickin' Tour de France that she does on that thing. And she was telling me, hey, that something's wrong. It's clicking. And I was like, oh, I thought that was me. And so we went up there and the pedal was installed like macaque. It wasn't installed flush. So
macaque.
She's sitting over here doing warranty and apparently they're going to fix it. So
Nice.
That's great. So I bought a refurbished Peloton Plus bike and they're going to fix it. Super easy. To me, this is what Peloton needs to do.
Yeah. Service.
So
that's all.
Service. Smash the numbers, Ferris.com. Why do you think that Cousins just turned into a completely different QB in Atlanta? I think he's not the same guy after the torn Achilles.
Yeah. But I also think that they as a team are very inconsistent. I mean, everyone wants to just point at Kirk, but it's not just him. Like, he's not playing great football, but they're not exactly doing a bunch to help him.
Yeah, I think it is. Kurt Warner was talking the other day on the Jim Gray podcast. I can't remember what it's called now.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
The one that Tom Brady was on last year. Yeah. And Kurt Warner was saying that he didn't think the mechanics, Kirk Cousins' mechanics, were the same because he's not driving off that Achilles.
Yeah.
And I think that's why his accuracy has been poopy, not good. His accuracy has been really bad. Lopes fan Gabe, also watching the WCC lawsuit against Grand Canyon. Exactly right. Can a league hold a school responsible for entrance and exit fees if the school committed to join but technically never entered the conference? The problem, I think, is going to be, did they sign the contract? Did they sign the charter? Did they sign the grant of rights?
Did you commit or did you not commit?
Well, committing is different, right? Committing is, hey, I'm committed to you, but we never got married. You can't sue me for divorce. Right? We had some sex. I spent some money on dinner.
Bruh.
Yeah, but then Sheila showed up and you're yesterday's trash, babe. Right? Like, that'll be interesting to watch. That will be interesting to watch. RX, I'm suing you because the thing I willingly signed is unfair.
Exactly. Like,
exactly
what are you doing?
Right. Exactly right. Phenomenal Hebrew. A lot of miscreants in here. I'm sorry, did you just say miscreants?
That's a big word for you, bro.
Look at the big brain on miscreants.
Yeah.
F around and find out.
Ain't liking this end of your award-winning broadcast. Well, that's okay. It's okay. Jay McClanahan. Monty, with revenue share, will that even the playing field some? I think most teams that want to compete will come up with the $20.5 million. Boy, it's certainly interesting.
Figure it out.
It is certainly interesting. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know. UW fan Jim. Goose, turkey, ham, or something else for dinner?
Raccoon.
Huh?
Raccoon.
This is so disgusting to me. First of all, Xavier Liggett talking about eating raccoon.
Well, y'all probably seen that video when I tell them folks I eat coon.
Bro just said that he hunts and skins raccoon, and he had raccoon at Thanksgiving. What?
Have you ever had raccoon or anything similar, which would shock a lot of other non-hunters or game eaters?
I've eaten a lot of raccoon. Yes. The answer is yes. And I've eaten it hunting. I've actually had it served by my mom at the table away from hunting. And I have eaten raccoon. And yes, it's not uncommon at all. I'll tell you something that is one of my favorites is squirrel.
First of all,
what am I supposed to do with that?
No, what you're supposed to do with it is play the only video that matters in this raccoon conversation.
What am I supposed to like? Are you out of your mind that you're eating raccoons?
Oh fucking God.
Hold up. That's what you're eating. You're cooking that thing up. What?
No.
Has anyone in the comments section had raccoon?
No.
Anita Dick and Ming.
Yeah.
No.
Right?
I'm not putting raccoon into my stomach.
Anybody in the comments section, have you had raccoon?
And if you have, please don't admit it, because I don't want to dislike you. Not today.
Like, how?
Not today. Yeah, and donuts. It's like eating Whoa, hey, that's some good coon over there.
Like what?
Don't mind them tire marks, boy. Can you imagine? What did you like? Shoot it with a bow and arrow? Did you shoot it with a gun? Raccoons aren't big. You can't shoot it with a gun. How do you kill a raccoon? I don't want to know. Dev MC, a nice raccoon fresh out of the dumpster.
Right? Like, dude.
No. Force Ghost Fabio. Hey, food's expensive. I get it.
Dude.
But these guys are billionaires. You willingly? I don't know, man.
And what do you think?
Honey baked ham.
Yeah. Maybe a bit of turkey.
You know, that damn raccoon that keeps tearing up our garbage. I'm tired of that. Let's just have that for dinner. What? No.
Macaque.
No. I'm not. No. Y'all have tried Cooney nuggets? You haven't.
Dude,
no.
Stop. Dude, I'm not having raccoon nuggets, dude.
No. Big blue horses. Squirrel, yes. Trash panda, no.
Trash panda.
Oh, San Diego State Glen. Jarrett eats secret squirrel. My childhood memories are now traumatized.
Yeah, like what?
Randomness. Jerry Jones stopping the bus on a road game because he saw a snack on the highway.
What's up, big bro?
I ain't paying for no jerky when I got dead coon.
Yeah, like come on, man.
Dead coon, boy.
Like what are we doing?
Hey, Jerry, can we pull over at the Maverick? I need to get some gummy bears and corn nuts. No, boy, we're gonna get some coon.
Dude.
Look at that coon on the roadside, Jera.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that, bro.
What is your life like if you're eating roadkill?
Like,
stop. Say, Force Ghost Fabio, advocates can't feed everybody.
Yeah, I guess.
As much as we try. Yeah, and donuts rip Peanut. Anybody seen Peanut, our little pet coon? He's been gone for a while. You know, that's funny. I saw Xavier Liggett out front of the house about an hour ago. And the best part is Xavier Liggett is proud of it. Dude is like, oh, yeah, man. I'm not hiding from this.
Well, y'all probably seen that video when I tell them folks I eat coon.
Turkey or raccoon?
Hey, Xavier, do you want a little gravy for your raccoon, or what do you think?
Hey, Xavier, does that come with dark meat and white meat, or are we just,
Bro. Hey, breast or thigh off the raccoon?
It can't be tender. It cannot be tender.
No, you know that's stringy and tough as hell.
Come on. It cannot be. There is no way. Matt Ritson, how about frog leg or gator leg tasting like chicken?
No, I'm good.
Geoff, my old boss used to have a lot of coons messing up his property. He'd pop a couple a week with his 22, throw them in the trash, and move on with his day. Ain't no coon like a dead coon. Coon on the and you know how you deep fry them turkeys? I do the same thing with them coons.
I just can't, bro. I can't
little
get down
stuffing.
with,
We got
you
some
know,
mac and cheese.
like,
I got some sweet potato
like now I'm sitting here thinking
casserole.
about, like, do you have just the
And,
layers of breast, or
you
are
know,
we dicing this, or like what are we doing?
We even roll out them King's Hawaiian
I mean, is
rolls.
this like fried raccoon, like
Had 'em
fried
on
chicken?
sale over at the Super Picks.
Like, do you guys have like a beer in flour, like, you know, breading that you've created?
I went to King's Super.
Yeah.
And I
like,
got me
what are we
some
doing?
stovetop stuffing.
Yeah.
I got me some King's Hawaiian rolls. And I got some Cool Whip.
a tasty burger.
I got some Cool Whip and
Whip,
a crumble apple pie, and went home, shot me up one of them coons that was tearing up my dumpster.
You know,
We're good to go. Thanksgiving, Christmas, it's going to be amazing. Everybody coming over for some deep fried coon, boy.
Dude, I no. Hell no. Hell no.
Absolutely not. I got some stovetop stuffing.
Trash panda.
And I saw that trash panda and a light went off in my head and I said, coon for dinner, boy.
Dude.
We're going to make coon ravioli.
No.
We're going to make some coon sausage.
No.
We're going to make some coon casserole. It's going to be amazing.
Bro.
Coon with a nice Merlot. Some fava beans and coon.
you know.
Where have we gone in society?
Last show of the year, bro. Last show of the year.
Hey, Terry, I've got a brisket on the Traeger. Why don't you come on over and have some dinner? I can't do it, Melvin. I've got some coon to eat.
You and your mom are hillbillies.
Literally, they're stop. We're going to have some raccoon cereal, which is actually raccoon soup.
Well, we're going to make some raccoon croutons for the salad.
Raccoon is probably what's in the McRib after all. Because we all know it's not ribs.
Oh, shit.
Shut up, James. I'm talking about coon.
Yeah, how are you not talking about first team all clean cut with Preston Stone, dude?
Tell me, first of all, that you haven't eaten coon or squirrel, James. And if you say you haven't, I'm calling you a liar.
Hiscock.
What? Raccoon jerky? Beverly Hillbillies original origin story is one of raccoon. I was out there shooting some coon, and up from the ground came some bubbling crude.
Here I am.
I'm begging you, please stop. I'm going to hurl. Jay McClanahan, can't we get fresh coon? There was this fresh coon in the portal. I just couldn't pass on that one. Stadium guy James. Raccoon-a-roni for everybody.
Nah.
I got me some long grain rice.
Hell no.
I put it in the steamer. I made some orange chicken with raccoon meat. Boy.
Dude, no.
Okay. Coon and grits, raccoon and you haven't lived until you've had raccoon with blue cheese crumbles. You throw in a side of flat squirrel wings and you're all good to go.
That's not going to take place here.
That's a feast in this neck of the woods. What is tarnation? What in tarnation?
What tarnation is going on in the
backyard? What do you mean that you would take turkey over coon meat? Right? I went to Payway and had the best. I went to pay. Okay, we should stop. Somebody's tuning
raccoon.
Somebody's tuning into the show for the first time, and they're like, "What in the hell?" The traveling poke. Mike Gundy eats coon. Let's be real about it. Listen here,
boy.
I'm a man.
Oh my God. Hey, Ollie, let's be real. I know we're hammered drunk, But let's hop in the truck and go find some coon.
Now, we've done this 1,000 times, so I know what I'm doing.
You got some buckshot in the back of that truck, Coach. I sure do, Ollie. Let's go get some coon. Yes, the Chad Carter says, I might be vegan now. I'll stick with eating beaver. Hey now.
Beaver.
Hello. Matt Ritson, Rocky Raccoon. You know, I had this really interesting flavor of, listen, here in Fort Worth, I went to Buc-ee's and I decided I needed some ice cream. So I got me some Rocky Coon Road. It was pretty amazing. Tasted like squirrel meat, if I was being honest with you. I'm out. Tom Dean, Tarnation is a boomer.
What in tarnation's going on in the backyard there?
Oh my God. Illumindersky, who's been a member of the show for 15 months. Happy Christmas, Merry New Year, everyone. Same to you, my friend. Up here in Monty Chapter 69, we're hunting them coon, boy. I've got the thermal out, and I'm not sure if that's Bertha. She lives down the road with Rodney. She seems to have lost a little weight, but she does kind of look like a coon, Jara. Go on and move in there and pop a buckshot over on her. Not the bucked up one, but the one out of your rifle there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Steely says beaver or beaver. Exactly right.
Damn.
Hour number 2 of the Monty Show. I would just like to take this moment to thank Jerry Jones for saying that he likes coon. That is one of the greatest wins in the history of this show.
Yeah.
Is Jerry Jones liking coon. And I'm fine with it. Hour number 2 of the Monty Show presented by Prize Picks. Speaking of eating coon, Prize Picks, the best daily fantasy app in the business. Super stoked, you guys. Won again. I told you. Did I not tell you that the streak was coming to an end? Did I not tell you that this here coon eater was going? I've never had coon and I never will. That this guy right here was going to win on Prize Picks last night. I told you that. And sure enough, what's the formula for winning on Prize Picks?
Eat coon.
After you're done eating coon, you play a flex play, a 3-pick flex play, right? Yeah. Squirrel, coon, and otter.
Right.
I'm kidding. First thing you do is download the Prize Picks app. Use the promo code Monty to open up a new Prize Picks account. You deposit $5, they'll give you $50 instantly. Then you make 3 selections. You flex play that, so you only have to win 2 or 3. I'd like to thank Shea Gilgeous-Alexander for absolutely nothing. 43.5 point number. He hit 27. In a championship game in the NBA Cup, you only put up 27? Then Giannis Antetokounmpo had a 48-point number. Jake said that was too much. I said, no, sir. Antetokounmpo, your mom, had 55.
Damn.
And then if you all remember on this show, what did I tell you about Steven Stamkos? He needed 1 point. Steven Stamkos needed 1 point. Somebody on this show tried to talk me out of it. I didn't listen. It's clear he has rabies from all the coon he eats.
That's correct.
I'm of clear mind.
Right.
When I signed that contract with the Mountain West, unlike Utah State. That's a different show.
Oh, my.
I took Steven Stamkos for 1 point. He gave me 2, and both in the first period. Pimp's going pimp.
Having fun is the name of the game.
Your boy won 2 or 3 on a flex play. Paid me $25.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's what I do, friends. That's how easy Prize Picks is. And the thing that I really like about it is, what were Jake and I doing last night? Shooting texts back and forth about Steven Stamkos. And like, it gets you into the game. And I love it. It's cheap. It's affordable. You can play it. It's easy to win money on Prize Picks. Hook it up. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the promo code Monty. Open up a new Prize Picks account. And they'll give you $50 when you deposit $5. Tonight, here's an interesting one. How about on NHL? Time on ice. Vladimir Tarasenko, 22.5 minutes on ice. Or half a hit. I might go half a hit there. Austin Matthews, 20.75 minutes on ice. He's beat that 3 of the last 5 games. Pretty tight number there. Pretty tight number there.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I stay away from the NHL tonight. No Connor Bedard to bet on. Maybe I stay away from that one. How about the NBA tonight? There's some good ones. Don't forget, 8:40 tonight. Or is that next Wednesday?
What?
That's next Wednesday. The Nikola Jokic pick for half a point.
Yeah.
Is next Wednesday. But Karl Anthony Towns.
Hey, Anthony.
I love Karl Anthony Towns tonight. What about Lauri Markkanen for
Dude.
what?
When are you going to learn your lesson on the Jazz?
Lauri Markkanen.
We don't prize pick Jazz players, dude.
How about Cade Cunningham, 40.5 points, rebounds, and assists against the Jazz? You guys need to understand they're going to trade Colin Sexton and John Collins. You can just write that down. Ayo Dosunmu, 23.5 against Jaylen Brown, 33.5 points, rebounds, and assists against the Chicago Bulls.
That's a good one.
That's a yes.
Yeah.
That's a yes. How about Zach LaVine? Don't call me Levine. 28.5 points, rebounds, and assists against Boston. No, I'm good. There are some very interesting ones.
Yeah.
I am Derek Lively, 18.5 against the Clippers is James Harden, James Larden.
Thank you.
36.5 points, rebounds, and assists against the Mavericks. That's a yes. And then Austin Reeves, 24.5 points, rebounds, and assists against thine Sacramento Kings. Or do I go Anthony Davis, 41.5 points, rebounds, and assists?
Anthony Street Clothes Davis.
I am more wanting. I'm probably going to go Austin Reeves.
Nice, dude.
Flex play. Are you going to submit a lineup tonight, or are you just going to cop out as usual?
I mean, I'm going to take the Jaylen Brown, 33.5.
I like that. All right, there you go.
I got the Cade Cunningham.
You are taking Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, what the hell?
You are not the father.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll get crazy with it. We'll go hits in the NHL. See here.
All right, if you lose, are you going to blame me?
Yes.
You are.
Yeah, it's a natural, progression in life.
Okay.
Ryan Reeves, 3 hits.
I like Ryan Reeves for 3 hits.
Yeah, I like that too. That'll be my third.
All right, there you go. The traveling poke. Do it for my boy Cade. Jake's on Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
Geoff, Austin Matthews will beat that time on ice. He's critical right now. They can't do it without him. I think that's very good. Very good. JC, awesome show. Everyone enjoy your holidays. See y'all next year.
Yeah,
Thanks,
can we
JC.
start talking about what you guys are doing for the holidays? Are you guys staying home? You traveling? Like what's the deal?
Geoff wants to go back to the raccoon jokes.
Right.
Prize picks. Jerry Jones, 2 coons on Christmas, more or less. Exactly right. Exactly right. Exactly right. All right. Can we get into the Aaron Rodgers, Mike Vick portion of the program?
This portion of the program is not for the average Joe listener. This is going to be a little more serious.
Everyone hates Aaron Rodgers, as they should. Do you, in the comment section, do you like Aaron Rodgers?
No.
Just straight away, do you like Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers has been terrible for the Jets, right? I think we can all get on board with
That's not
this.
a unique opinion.
I think it is very interesting that we have a situation with Aaron Rodgers where he's been not good for the New York Jets. Let's just call it what it is. You understand the move. It was an abject failure. Aaron Rodgers has been the reason that team has been bad in a lot of his time on the field. The time off the field with the injury, a lot of reasons they've been bad. His firing of a coach, his inability, even though they have spent money and they have added players to that roster, including Devontae Adams and all of his best friends from Green Bay, they have not been good. So when people call him out for that, Aaron Rodgers has a very simple answer, and it's, well, you need to tell me your vax status.
PSA is this. I know I got to say this multiple times for people because they don't listen, but say whatever the fuck you want about me. I don't care. But just before you do it, whether you state your name, your accolades, pronouns, whatever it is, just state your vax status so that anything you say afterwards gets put in the right light. Just get it out there. Because then when you say things about me, people can at least be like, oh, you are captured by the multi-billion-dollar propaganda psyop, and you're still upset about it.
What does it have to do with how bad you've been for the New York Jets? What does that have to do with firing the GM and the head coach? What does that have to do with you essentially saying that your guys and you want your guys with the Jets and they've all been failures? What does that have to do with your inability to stay healthy? What does that have to do with your inability to be a leader and a maker of winning football teams? The Jets have bowed down, bent the knee to you, and you have been wretchedly bad. What does my vax status have to do with that? That's what I can't get down with here. Explain to me on what level is that funny? And he was not joking because he went on to go even deeper into that. Explain to me, what is Pat McAfee doing with Aaron Rodgers talking about Ryan Clark's vaccine status? What does that have to do with how bad Aaron Rodgers has been?
Yeah, I just think it's a really bad look. I think it's a bad look on multiple levels. Number one, you're not having a real legit conversation, right? You're not, you're going on to an ESPN program with Pat, and you're talking about vaccine status instead of talking about football. That's number one. Number two, Aaron Rodgers does not want to be held accountable for anything that does not go well. He is in the camp of, hey, when it's going well, it's on me. When it's going bad, it's on everyone else. He's proven that. His comments back that up. That's not a controversial take. That's the kind of guy he is. And number three, I think that Aaron Rodgers, to be honest with you, just likes to be a red ass. He likes to treat people poorly. He likes to make it uncomfortable. I think that's very true. Yeah. And I think that this whole thing is his way of trying to feel self-important and trying to be in the middle of a situation. It's why he goes on Pat's show every week and says controversial things, because he wants the media attention. And so, number one, I haven't watched Pat's show in months. I used to be a big fan of Pat's show. Ever since it's been on ESPN, haven't watched it. Not a fan. It's not a great show. It lacks depth. I just am not a fan. It's just not my thing.
They've lost their conversations on that show.
Yeah. And so then what do I get? I don't watch your show. And then when it does pop up, what do I get? Aaron Rodgers talking about vax status and being an a-hole about it. And it's just not for me. And I'm not an Aaron Rodgers guy. I think he's the reason that the Jets are struggling. I think everyone owes Zach Wilson a huge apology for the way they treated him and what they said about him, now that Aaron Rodgers has won less than Zach Wilson did. And I do think that the Packers situation, he's going to be, remembered as a Packers legend. I will remember Aaron Rodgers as someone who didn't win enough with the Packers. Always blaming someone else. Yeah. It's always someone else's fault. Can never beat Tom Brady. That's how I'll remember you.
Mike McCarthy had to be fired.
Mike McCarthy had to be fired. Like, that's how I'll remember you. And I'm just sick and tired of people putting this guy on a pedestal, because I just don't think we have any reason to anymore. He's not one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's certainly not one of the best people in the league. Like, what are we wasting our time on Aaron Rodgers for?
Yeah, and I mean, I think there's a lot of people that agree with Aaron who said that he understands why he is, talked about so much. Aaron Rodgers is talked about. He's the starting quarterback of the New York Jets. Are you supposed to ignore that? So let me get this right. Aaron, when you're bad, we shouldn't talk about you. But when you're really good, which you haven't been ever with the Jets, never at one time, at any point has he been an elite quarterback for the Jets.
Yeah.
So we just should ignore that. For a guy coming off of a torn Achilles where you said you were going to come back last December and you never were going to come back last December. We should just not talk about you. You're a starting quarterback in the NFL. Should Caleb Williams feel like he's being targeted because everybody's saying he's the worst rookie quarterback in the NFL? Should Justin Herbert be targeted because everybody's saying now he's injury prone? Should Russell Wilson feel targeted because everybody said he was cap and washed? There are privileges that come with being one of the highest paid players in the league and being a starting quarterback for the New York Jets. And the truth be told, one of them is that when you play like Garbo and you're terrible, and people are going to say that you're Garbo and you're terrible and you're washed.
Because it's garbage.
We're going to sit here the other day and debate whether LeBron should retire. How come we haven't debated whether Aaron Rodgers should retire?
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers isn't even the best quarterback of his generation.
It's remarkable to me how bad he has been. And again, I'm a noted Chicago Bears fan. And as an owner of our franchise, he still sucks. The guy has not won enough Super Bowls. The guy should have 3-4 Super Bowls now. And the truth is, you're not Tom Brady. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Drew Brees.
You're not Patrick Mahomes.
You're not. Are you better than Kirk Cousins? You are, because you have a Super Bowl. He's an elite regular season quarterback, or at least he was, because he ain't anymore. All right. Let's get your thoughts.
Then we're supposed to be surprised that people, that people are a little burned out on his antics.
Mike Chase, happy birthday, Jake. Hope you have a great day and have a Merry Christmas. Fun trip, Monty and Jake. Thank you.
Man, this trip's going to be baller.
It is. We have a great trip coming up. As a person, no. As a player 5 years ago, yes, exactly right. And donuts. With Aaron, it's more about him and not the Jets. I would agree with that. That was a shot at Ryan Clark. It was. It absolutely was. And I have no problem. Ryan Clark was very critical of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I have no problem with it.
But again, what did Ryan Clark do versus what did Aaron Rodgers do? Ryan Clark had the balls to come out and name him by name and call him a fraud. What did Aaron Rodgers do?
Talked about vaccine status.
Nice, dude. Nice.
Do you understand that quite literally is, oh, you're looking at me suck? Hey, listen to this crazy thing I said. I honestly think that's why he did it.
Yeah. Because what is he? What defense is there for Aaron Rodgers as a fraud? Okay, well, he's got numbers in the regular season. Okay. He's got one Super Bowl. Okay. Yeah, that's legit. That's fair. He's got a ring. Cool. He's won. And I don't run from that. Yes, he's won a Super Bowl. But anybody off the top of their head, a casual non-Packer fan, I'm not sure could even tell you what year he won that Super Bowl in because it's been so long. And people, I would guess, are more going to remember the Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers matchups that didn't go Aaron's way. And by the way, Tom beat you repeatedly with guys named Scotty Miller, not Randy Moss, not the best in the league. And that's what I think is difficult when it comes to Aaron Rodgers. Ryan Clark, one of the best defensive players of his time, came out and called you a fraud by name on ESPN. And your response is talking about vaccine status. That tells me you're not that guy, dude.
And I don't think anybody disagrees with Ryan Clark.
Yeah.
That's the hard part, is I think Ryan Clark is right. And I think most people agree. Who's defending Aaron Rodgers' performance with the New York Jets?
Yeah.
Nobody. Man's box is gone. CT in action. I certainly hope not. Eric in Poughkeepsie. Why can't I think of another city? Eric in Charlotte. Maybe my box is gone. Aaron Rodgers has CTE. He has a brain worm. His brain is being rotted out. Well, you can only take so much ayahuasca.
So that's the excuse for saying this now? He has CTE? That's convenient.
Let's talk about your performance. Quick. Look over there.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Tater, let's keep this simple. Aaron Rodgers is a blowhard and Vic is a head coach at Norfolk State. Nothing else to say about it. Case closed.
I tend to agree. I mean, I don't want us to have to go down this real serious path, but Aaron doesn't really give us another choice.
No, I don't think he does. UW fan Jim, not a fan of him or his opinions. I don't mind Aaron Rodgers talking football. It's when we get to the vax stuff. It's when we get to Aaron Rodgers takes great pride in humiliating people.
Yeah. And so for that, I'm not going to listen to you talk football. I'm not interested.
That's what I don't understand. Delaric, Rodgers is the only QB that makes you almost think washcloth may be a better choice.
Honestly, right now, yeah, you can make that case.
Greensboro. Eric in Greensboro. Thank you. Greensboro's a good pull. People lead with their strongest argument. That was his. I think you're probably right. The stadium guy, James, Aaron Rodgers is delusional because he ate too much raccoon. Exactly. Make sure you guys hit the like button to support Aaron Rodgers and his mental journey.
Yeah, I've been immunized.
Stymie Snurdly, Yankees, Notre Dame, and Aaron Rodgers. Love them or hate them. There is no gray area. Well, you're not wrong about that. You're not. Cody Bellinger traded to the Yankees in a move that I think everybody knew was coming because the Cubs wanted off that salary.
Now, here's what everybody really cares about. Not the trade itself. The fact that Cody Bellinger's wife is Mike Stanton's ex, and they're going to have to work that out in the clubhouse. That's what everyone wants to talk about.
Mike Stanton? Who's Mike Stanton?
Yeah, Mike.
You mean Giancarlo?
Yeah, Mike.
It's Giancarlo.
Okay, cool.
That could be interesting. Is Giancarlo Stanton a guy that you believe can still be an everyday DH?
Yeah.
I don't think he can play the outfield, but that's just me.
DH, not a fielder.
I would agree. Sergeant Green, thank you for your service. Well, as a Browns fan, I'm going to sit this one out. Exactly right. David Persons, have a happy birthday and another year blessed by God, those you love and those around you. He wished you happy birthday, Jake.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
It's Jake's 31st birthday. One of the great honors of my life is being a dad. You've had a pretty good life so far.
Yeah, it's been good, dude. Yep. Yeah, life's been good so far, for sure. Haven't had any raccoon, though, so,
You're supposed to compliment me in some way, but you won't. I got you Kobe's for your birthday.
Yeah, I appreciate it, dude.
I bought Peloton for your birthday.
Yeah.
I bought you golf balls for your birthday. Did I buy you golf balls? I don't think I did. Oh, wait, I bought myself golf balls. Did you see the new Kirkland golf ball came out?
No.
New Kirkland golf balls out. Brandon Butler, I can't decide who to blame more in ownership, the McCaskies or A-Raj for the Bears situation.
Seriously.
He's a terrible owner. God, the Bears are so bad. It'd be a real shame if George McCaskey fell in front of an L train. Giancarlo is washed too. He's the next Pujols DH type player.
Yes.
You're not wrong.
Yes, I agree with that.
You are not wrong. I always assumed Jake was a homeless man. Monty was helping out. Today I learned.
Oh, nice.
I mean, you do have a neck beard.
Right.
I'll give you credit. You've stopped rocking the neck beard.
Uh-huh.
Was that a point of maturity or is that because...
Yeah, I mean, it just was a point of laziness that, I just had to work through. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what it was.
Okay. I mean, listen, I respect the game. I truly do. I respect the game. Have I missed? Somebody said I missed paid comments. David Persons. What is Boise State doing in the playoffs? They can't even figure out what color the grass is supposed to be. All right, let's get into college football playoff picks. Because we'll be back January 2nd, I guess, will be our first show. Do you guys believe that Boise State can make a run through the college football playoff?
No.
You don't?
No, I don't.
All right, Clemson, Texas. Texas, Arizona State.
Arizona State. Yeah, I said it.
Nice Cam Scatterbo, boo.
I said it, dude.
With 2 O's and 1 bow.
Here's my problem with that matchup for Texas. Arizona State is going to go in there with nothing to lose, just like they have been all year long.
I think Arizona State's physicality on defense will give Quinn Ewers problems.
Yeah.
Arch Manning should be already the starting quarterback at Texas. I'm going to take Texas. The only 10 I see are Ohio State.
I'm going to take Ohio State. Going to give them the benefit of the doubt one more time. I don't love it. That's not. I don't feel super confident in that. That's a 60-40 pick at best.
Okay, so you're going Arizona State. Okay, Ohio State or Oregon?
Oregon.
Arizona State or Oregon?
Oregon.
SMU or Pedo State?
Pedo State.
Pedo State or Boise State?
Pedo State.
Okay. Notre Dame or Indiana?
Indiana.
Notre Dame, our mother.
I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?
Yeah, that game's at the stadium, right?
Yeah, I'm well aware, dude.
South Bend.
Yeah.
Friday night. You understand that?
Yeah.
You're still taking Indiana.
I'm still taking Indiana, dude.
Such a dick.
Notre Dame's got to prove it.
What has Indiana proven? They lost the only team that mattered.
Right. But Notre Dame loses in the playoffs
What is
every
Indiana?
year.
What is Indiana? They don't go to the playoffs every year. What does Indiana have to prove? What does
Nothing.
Indiana have
Nothing.
to prove?
They've already proved enough. They got to the college football playoff. That's good
Not
enough.
Google me, bro.
Yeah. They've already had a great year.
You're such a jerk. Georgia or Indiana?
Georgia.
Penn State or Georgia?
Georgia.
Or Georgia or Oregon?
Man,
You're
that's
really
tough,
taking
dude.
Oregon to win the national championship.
Yeah, I think I am. That's really tough, bro.
All right, here's where I come down. Clemson or Texas? Texas. Texas or Arizona State? Texas. Tennessee over Ohio State.
I think that's the hardest game out of any of these.
I think Tennessee over Ohio State, although
Damn.
that game's at the shoe.
Still, though, I can't blame you for taking them.
What is the line on that game? That's what I'm interested in. The line on, what is the line? Hold on. God
hello.
gummit. The line on that game, Tennessee, the Ohio State, is 7.5 points.
For the
6 p.m. The shoe.
I don't know. I'm just not like, I think you have to lean Ohio State, but
I want to lean Ohio State. That Tennessee defense, though, bros. Do you believe in the Ohio State offensive line to hold up against Tennessee? Because that's where the game's going to be win or loss.
Better than Pedo State.
Much better.
So if you think they're much better, just comes down to which Tennessee we get. And do they turn it over on offense? Because they're prone to do that.
You know, the biggest problem that I also see is if you look at Iamaleva, his best games, if you look at his best games, they were 211 yards, 292 yards, 257 yards.
Yeah.
He is a dual threat quarterback. And he's the one question I have against an elite defense under 30 degrees on the road. Damn it. Did you just talk me into Ohio State? I think you did. Ohio State or Oregon? I think you got to take Oregon. I think you got to take Texas.
Texas over Oregon.
No, Texas over Arizona State.
Oh, okay.
And then Texas over Oregon. Penn State over SMU and Boise State. Notre Dame over Indiana. Georgia over Notre Dame. Georgia over Pedo.
So Georgia and Texas and
I still come down with Georgia. I think Georgia's just too. They've beaten you twice.
Yeah.
Can you beat the same team in the same year 3 times?
I wouldn't put it past Georgia and Kirby.
That defense, I'm telling you, man, when that defense is right, Nick Chubb on injured reserve, God, dog.
Yeah. But yeah, when I look at these, I mean, I think the biggest question mark game is Ohio State, Tennessee. That's the biggest, unpredictable game. I think Clemson and Texas.
Jake Dickert is leaving Washington State. What?
Oh, did he get in the portal?
Oh, wow. What a terrible cycle oh, man. Oh, that hurts. Wake Forest is hiring Jake Dickert to replace Dave Doran, and Dickert. Oh, wow. Wow. What a huge loss for Washington State. All right, let's move on. I think I have to, in that Georgia, we'll have to go through that Georgia-Texas game. I'm going to need to see who's healthy. I'm going to need to see who's ready to rock and roll. I'm not ready to pick that game today. I think I need to see more time, more plays. I need to see what does Quinn Ewers look like.
What is the when do they play the national championship game again?
On your mom's birthday, January 20th.
Oh, okay. Cool.
January 20th. Yeah, we'll be back on right after the quarterfinals.
Plenty to talk about.
Yeah, plenty to talk about. So
Chad Carter, do you fire Ryan Day if Ohio State loses to Tennessee?
Well, I was just going to say that. I was just going to say, do you fire Ryan Day if he loses to the only 10 I see?
Yes.
I
think you have to.
I think so. Mayor McCluskey, good morning, friend. Your mom's birthday is January 20th? No, it's not. Nope. Let's see. Georgia or Georgia? Exactly.
Georgia.
Going to be embarrassing when the Big Ten chokers choke.
But not surprising.
If the goes out in the first round, do you fire Ryan Day?
I don't know how you don't.
That's going to be tough, dude. I don't know how you keep him if they don't. Boyd Lake, the SEO king of America. Pedo State looked good versus Oregon. If Penn State doesn't wet the bed, no way Boise State does anything. The biggest question is, can you, at Boise State, be one-dimensional in the run game? Because they can't run left. All of Ashton Ginty's big runs is well documented, now have been to the right. Can you be versatile in the running game? We'll find out. Can recall how Washington handled Texas last year. Well, okay. Notre Dame over Oregon. Speak it into existence, dude.
I have a lot of trouble with that, man.
I just don't think one of the highest paid coaches in college football and Riley Leonard's a very good combination. I truly do not. Who is Indiana beaten? Nobody. The eye patch. SMU and Boise State are getting rolled.
I don't know.
I think SMU's got their hands full, man.
They have their hands full. No
It's a
question
terrible
about
matchup.
it. No
but
question.
What did Rhett Lashley say after he was done bitching about the transfer portal? Oh, yeah, we're practicing outside when it's 41 degrees. That's cold. Clearly, because Penn State plays football, hell is frozen over at Beaver Stadium. That's cold. Beaver or raccoon. It's cold.
Yeah.
41 degrees outside, Rhett. Yeah. Congratulations. But it's been a good year. I don't see any way that when I look at that Penn State defense, they get after that ass. There's no way for you to, there's not. I don't know how you overcome that, I guess is my point. Let's see. And donuts, 3 million. Okay. Notre Dame shocks Georgia. That would be amazing. It would be great if SMU beat Pedo State. I am here for it.
I would love that.
I am here for it. I'm here for it. I still don't get all the love for Texas. Well, it's pretty simple. They're elite they're the best defense in the SEC. They're fast. They're physical. That defense catches the football exceptionally well.
And the numbers say they're the best defense in the SEC, by the way.
Metrically and the eye test.
Yeah.
The biggest question on Texas is Quinn Ewers good enough right now to lead that team to a national championship? They're going to be better than every team they face.
In my opinion, the best thing that could happen for Texas is much like what happened to Georgia and Carson Beck. I think that if Quinn Ewers is going to come out and play like garbage, you got to make that move. You have to be definitive if you're Sark. I hate this 2-quarterback nonsense that they're running. I think that the team needs a definitive, hey, this is our guy.
Yeah, I would agree. I agree with that. This argument's never held water. People act like they don't know history. Boise State is finished after bowls ranked 10, 5, and 4. What does that matter this year?
Yeah, who cares?
They've played nobody. And the team they did play, they lost to them. Great game. Ashton Ginty ran well against Oregon. Not saying. But you really think Oregon in week 2 is the same team that you're playing now?
No.
Do you think that Oregon's defense is better than Penn State's defense? Because I got breaking news for you. It's not. It's not. And we can sit here and we can fairy tale and we can dream. And this is a different year than the Fiesta Bowl Then the Statue of Liberty and the proposal, and those are all great memories. They mean absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And because you say people don't know history, have you taken any time to understand depth and matchup man for man with Boise State? Because I have. I've done the research. I've done the work. I've watched the tape. Boise State, just go quarterback to quarterback. Is Maddox better than Aller? He's not. So if it winds up being Boise State, but if it winds up being Boise and SMU, who's got the better quarterback? SMU. You're never going to have the best quarterback. And in college football playoff games, the quarterback almost overwhelmingly.
It's the whole 9 yards, man.
And then if you are SMU, and I have to believe it's Penn State, you're going to run into an elite run-stopping front seven who is easily the best defensive line you've seen, easily the best flow defense you've seen, the most disciplined, the most gap sound, the most.
Do you guys think that we just make up our opinions on Boise State? Do you think that we don't know what this team's done or watch the games, studied the film? Like,
go look at the overwhelming majority of their chunk plays. And you tell me, where do they go to? Where do they go to? They go to the right side of the offensive line.
And typically,
almost
it needs to be said, when you run it to the right side, like they have exclusively, as you've said, on their chunk plays, a lot of those chunk plays, even with them running to their strong side, their preferred side of the formation, half the time the Mountain West defenses that they're facing are overrunning the play by a mile. So Ginty's got room that he typically would not have against a more disciplined defense.
And again, I will continue to say that Maddox Madsen is going to have to win them games in the playoff if they are going to advance. And just ask yourself, since you know everything, and I don't know history, how many 300-yard games does he have? That's interesting. The answer is none. Let me ask you this. How many 200-yard games in the last month of the season does he have? One. And it was against San Jose State, the worst team they saw. Okay. If I said to you, excuse me, as one 300-yard game against San Diego State, if I said to you that he's thrown 22 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, is that him or is that the competition he's facing? Because he's faced 3 of the worst pass defenses in the country. You can't look at their schedule and truly believe that Boise State matches up under any circumstance with Penn State up front.
Yeah.
Because they don't. They don't. Vlad, it matters because Boise has never beaten anybody in the regular season. It's not about regular season and who they've beaten. My argument has always been man for man. They're not as talented as a single top 50 P4 team. They're just not. And if the way I analyze football is matchup and matchup, he runs right. Ashton Ginty, who I think is a lovely running back. He is fantastic. He runs right for his big chunk plays. And when you're Penn State and you are truly 7 defensive tackles deep, and you're probably 12 or 13 defensive backs, you're probably, they have a legit, their top 20 on defense is more talented than any defender on the roster for Boise State. That's the difference. So when I look at how are you going to stop Abdul Carter? Where's the matchup there? Where is, when I look at, because the thing that you don't want to talk about, when I look at Penn State in their losses, and let's go to the Ohio State loss. what beat them? It was Ohio State rushing for 4.4 yards a carry with two of the better backs in the country, and they ran for 4.4 yards a carry. 40 carries and 176 yards. Do the math, my guy. That's not a great average. And when I look at the issues with Penn State against an elite defense, when you look at Drew Aller struggled. So if we look at Mountain West, let's just do Mountain West passing defensive stats, right? Let's look at where does Boise State rank? Because I'm going to tell you now, they're not a very good pass defense. They are not. And of course, the Mountain West site doesn't really want to doesn't want to work for your boy Monty. They're not a good pass defense. And so if you're going to go up against them, what I would ask you is, where's the matchup that you're going to win? Where's the matchup you're going to win? If we are truly sitting here saying, hey, you know what? Let's have a real conversation about Boise State versus who? Who in their bracket do they match up well against SMU? Certainly they do. Because I don't think SMU has a quality win either. But on what planet do you live that they match up well against Penn State? And even if I said to you, Boise State's defense versus Penn State's offense, how are you going to stop their run with that offensive line? I don't think you're going to.
Right.
I don't think you're going to. And I think when you look at Boise State and you start looking at how statistically they break down, dude, if we go passing yards allowed, and let's just go top 50. Where do you think Boise State ranks in the top 50 as far as passing defenses go? Go ahead. No, take a guess. They're not in the top 50.
But Monty,
do you understand that Boise State, you're going to wind up facing Penn State, who is 16th. Now, their schedule, I thought, was easier, right? Okay, well, you know what? I mean, obviously, you're going to have to stop the run, right? So if we just go rushing defense, I mean, obviously, Penn State's not a very good rushing defense. Yeah, they're only 9th in the entire country in FBS pass and rushing defense. 9th. And when you understand, they give up 3.2 yards a play on the ground. Do you understand? How if I just said pull a number for the entire season, how many rushing touchdowns do you think Penn State's given up? How about 7 for the entire season?
So you're not going to run it in on them, most likely. You're going to have to pass.
It's wild to me that somehow here we are. And if you think that you're getting a free pass with SMU's the 4th best rushing defense in the entire country, all of FBS. Do you understand that even SMU's given up 93.4 yards a game? Now, strength of schedule matters to me. I'm just asking you, since I don't know anything about college football, which you tell me again, where's the matchup? Where is the matchup? Vlad, and this is what I love now. All of a sudden, who are you guys arguing with? I'm arguing with you because you're the guy defending that Boise and they're not good. They're not good. So I'm simply telling you.
What does that say right below his current comment? What was that next one?
Boise is a horrible pass D, ranked 110th. I know I just said that. But you're trying to make the argument.
What you're not doing is you're not being accountable to your take. That's your problem. right now. You're running as usual, what everybody does on this show.
You can't defend. You can't
you come
defend.
in here and tell my guy here that he doesn't know history and he has no idea what he's talking about. And then when he blows you up, you run from the conversation. Typical behavior.
And you said they've never beaten anybody in the regular season, which your argument every year. It's not my argument every year. My argument every year is, and it's what I say about Notre Dame. I don't see that Notre Dame. I'm a little nervous about Notre Dame versus Indiana.
You should be. Should be.
I don't see a matchup that favors Notre Dame's offense against Indiana. So I'm a little nervous about that game. I think they'll win because I think Indiana's offense is a little overrated.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk about Texas, I know that Texas defense inside and out. And you want to look at statistics. You want to look at like defensive statistics. That's a good defense. That is you look at even like third down conversions. You look at Boise State, really good third down defense. Good third down defense. That's about all that you're going to get out of them. Because I also look at touchdowns scored. So when we talk about Notre Dame, what do I always say? Elite defense.
Mm-hmm.
Who scored the most defensive touchdowns in the entire country? Notre Dame with 6, tied with Tulane. It's an elite defense against nobody, which makes me a little nervous.
I mean, they at least have the Texas A&M game. Like, that's an SEC team.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they're not the best SEC team, but that's quality competition.
But I'm telling you right now, the best defense in the country is the Texas Longhorns, period.
Yeah.
Ginty runs between the tackles more than not on the right side.
Yeah. Yeah.
That what Boise State takes advantage of, and we've seen it week in and week out.
Yeah.
They take advantage of you not being gap sound.
Yeah, not disciplined.
To beat Boise State, you have to do 2 things exceptionally well. You have to force Ashton Ginty back to the B gap, preferably. Make him run through the B gap, and you have to be very, very gap disciplined, very, very gap sound. Set an edge, force him back inside through the B gap.
And the problem is
make him predictable.
Is if your defense has good secondary play, you can put 9 guys in the box and play man on the outside with 1 safety, and you're fine because they're not gonna bomb it down the field on you.
Yeah. Mayor McCluskey, Pedo State will grind against Boise's D easily. Don't start. Boise State will have to shower after getting worked all game.
Is it possible that they could ride the D?
The showers.
See what he did there,
Penn,
like shower Olympics and stuff
at Penn State. The eye patch: Texas, Tennessee, Notre Dame, and Sandusky State all win this weekend. I hope you're right.
The Tennessee one is the one is the most concerning one for me. I think Texas will handle their business. Well,
it's a big question, says the Washington fan in the room.
So here's the deal with that, though. I don't think that that's a bad take, Jim.
No, neither do I.
But here's the problem that I see with that take in the bigger picture. Sark hasn't been bad in big games. Who has he been bad against? Well, he's been bad against Georgia. And they've played Georgia multiple times this year. So now Sark's reputation is he's not a big game coach. But I don't think that's necessarily true. Nobody was saying he wasn't a big game coach when they went to Bryant-Denny last year and won that ball game, right? What has he not been able to do? He hasn't been able to beat Georgia. That does not mean that they're not a big game team, because I think they are.
Yeah, he has a history of losing some important contests. But I think he's got the other thing I think people don't understand. I also look at the scheme and the coaches coaching that scheme.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at Pete Kwiatkowski and that defensive staff, it's not accidental that everywhere Pete Kwiatkowski has been, they have had NFL players on his defense. He is a phenomenal defensive coordinator. He got screwed by Jimmy Lake at Washington.
Mm-hmm.
You end up in Texas, and all of a sudden, what is Texas? The best defense in the country, with really good corner play, really good safety play, and linebackers who are in the right place at the right time, who do not overrun their gaps. It is Pete Kwiatkowski. And if you're a Washington fan, this is not surprising to you. So, Jim, I would assume you know who Pete Kwiatkowski is. But Pete Kwiatkowski is a defensive guru. The biggest concern, if you're a Texas fan, is what is Quinn Ewers going to do? What is he going to do? Because I don't trust him. He's the guy I don't trust. It's not that I trust or think that Sark is some amazing coach. He's a very good coach. Quinn Ewers has not been the same cat since what was that? He took that huge hit in week 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not been the same guy. He's not been the same guy. Ferris. Ohio State, Tennessee, get in the door price did you guys see how much it is? To go to the Notre Dame game is $498.
Yeah.
Was the best ticket available.
It's Notre Dame.
Still only a quarter of the price for Notre Dame, Indiana. I'm pretty certain that I can't remember. I think it was the Herd yesterday. I was flipping around shows. $498 to get into the Notre Dame game. Like crazy. He was bad versus Washington. Well, there you go. Big Papa War Machine. Texas still got Big 12 blood in them. I trust them to win when they actually do it. Well, there is that. UW fan Jim Pete Kwiatkowski is the best DC. He's a stud. The guy is a stud.
I guess I'm just in a little bit different of a place with Texas. I think that I think that there's a lot of recency bias in this take that they don't win big games. I know that Sark's not perfect in big games. I'm not saying he's the best head coach out there. What I'm saying is if you look at their roster, you look at how they go about winning ball games, they haven't shown the ability to beat Georgia. They have shown the ability to beat a lot of really good teams. So if we're going to sit here and say, hey, Texas is somehow going to struggle with Clemson, I just think you're hating. I think Texas is going to handle Clemson, and I think we'll find out against Arizona State. That's what I think.
I'm very curious to see how SMU performs. Because I think SMU, you want to talk about a good matchup. I think SMU and Boise would be a good matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know Boise never loses ever. I'm being a jerk now. I think that'd be a good matchup. I just don't see a way that SMU can beat Penn State. Not in that environment with that weather.
Yeah.
That's just me. Pete was a Boise State dude. They could use him now. They could use, because he's also an unbelievable recruiter. Really good recruiter. Let's see. That's true. I'm a generational hater.
Yeah.
And
there's
nothing wrong with that.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Wow. So Arizona State greater than Clemson now? Yes.
Yes.
I think the thing that people don't understand about Arizona State is they just keep going.
Yeah.
They play hard and they just keep going. Is there any better coach-player relationship or fit than Dilly Dilly and Scattaboo? I don't think there is. That's just my opinion, though. The eye patch. Georgia is down the line and may not even be their QB injured, but they have a really good backup.
Gunnar Stockton's a stud, dude.
He can really play. He can really play. Really, really play. All right. Should we talk about our trip before we roll out? Let's talk about this Frontier Airlines thing real quick. Because this is fascinating.
While we talk about the trip. Yeah.
How much would you pay for an unlimited pass on Frontier Airlines? They're offering an annual pass at $299 that'll bump up to $700 after the first year for Frontier Airlines.
Unlimited domestic flights.
I would never fly Frontier. I flew it once on a turboprop up to Tahoe, never again. Now, if Delta was offering this,
$1,000 a year for Delta.
I would every day. I'd probably do more than that. I'll be honest with you. If it was $100 a month, if it was $1,000 a month, I would do it. I travel enough. I fly enough that if you said to me, now I would need, it would have to be at least plus. I am not paying $1,000 a month for cattle class.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that. But if you said to me $12,000 unlimited first class, where do I sign up? And I'll pay all of it up front. I'm happy to do it. If you could get first class Delta One unlimited every year, how much would you be willing to pay?
Probably 10.
10 G's.
Yeah, probably 10 G's.
So
yeah.
less than $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
No, I'd pay $1,000 a month easy for Delta One. Would you ever fly Frontier?
The problem, see, here's the deal with that, though. The problem is Delta One's not available on most domestic. That's an international perk. Delta One, that is. So, like,
first class.
Well, like, if it could be, if it was like, hey, you'll get Delta One on international stuff, but on domestic stuff, you're first class, then yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't travel a lot this year. You know, I didn't do a lot of traveling just because of schedules, and I mean, I think I've only taken. Now, I take the one trip. That's it. And then obviously our Christmas trip here. So like,
yeah,
you guys,
when you blew off the show to go to Disneyland.
Yeah,
that's right.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was actually Disney World. Get it right. So, you know, one trip, 2 trips a year. Like, I don't know. That would be interesting. That would be a tough decision.
Now, my travel for 2025, I'm going to Chicago. And then for Christmas, we're going to Paris. A year from now, we'll be in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
That Christmas trip is Paris, and we're staying at Disneyland Paris, Antwerp, and then London. So I'm going to fly from Utah to Paris, and from London, because I'm going to train the rest of the way, from London to Utah.
From London to Paris?
No.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
You said you were going to train the rest of the way.
Yeah, I'm going to fly from Utah to Paris, take a train from Paris to Antwerp, take a train from Antwerp to London, or a boat from Antwerp to London, and then fly from London to Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
You want to pay, if I could pay $1,000 a month to do that, done.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Done. You wouldn't do that.
$1,000 a month is a lot. You'd have to be traveling a lot. You would have to be traveling at least as much as you're traveling, if not more.
So I'm probably, that's the minimum. I'm probably going back to Chicago for Labor Day, Mrs. Monty's birthday, to go to a Cubs game. I'm definitely going to opening weekend in Chicago, April 4th.
See, the Chicago trip to me is a great fit for what Frontier's trying to do, right? Like, that's the kind of trip that Frontier wants people to be doing for their.
Can't do it.
But what I'm saying is that's what Frontier's trying to do. They're trying to get people to, and again, this isn't monthly. Remember that. This is
that's annual. That's annual.
Yeah.
I can't fly Frontier. It terrifies me.
Yeah, $1,000 a month is a lot. You would have to be, especially in current day and times with how much stuff costs, you have to be in a really good spot.
You know, I think it'll be interesting to see how travel changes, because I do think subscription travel is a thing of the future. You'll never see me subscribing to Frontier. You'll never see me subscribing to Allegiant. It's just not going to happen.
What is he saying right there? What did Vlad say at the bottom right there?
What?
That bottom comment right there. That one.
Question for others watching the show. Do these two always behave this way? It seems like they are good examples of today's Karens. Dude, so get the fuck out. Like, what are you doing here then?
Like, what's your problem, dude?
You're the guy who shows up here and then you want to like dominate. Like, you can't stand on your argument. So then you start insulting people. And when the comment section regulates you, as it always does on this show, then you want to start insulting people more. Nobody's offended by your dumb takes.
Yeah.
You can't back up a take you made on Boise State. Nobody's offended by that.
Yeah.
You take it personally, so you get offended. It's not personal to us. It's sports talk.
I got news for you. You're not the first guy to come in here and try to be a hard ass, and you won't be the last.
Like, it's remarkable to me that you can't get out of your feels. That you're taking a conversation about Boise State football where you said we were disrespecting Boise and they whatever, bro. You better tune up, because I've done the homework. I know Boise State inside and out.
Yeah.
We don't just show up, flip on a camera, and start talking about sports. That's what you do. That's not what we do. This is what we do.
Yeah.
So
good try.
Yeah.
Good
I don't even
effort.
know why we'd even read that. Brandon Butler, regulators mount up. What is this? The Vlad show? Yeah. Dude, if you don't like it, hit the road.
Yeah. It's fine.
Hit the road, man. Who cares? Joey B, Vlad equals milk makers. There you go. Mayor McCluskey, nice work, Vlad. You lose access to Monty Town. It's just there's no reason for it. Like
raccoons for dinner, bro.
Like if I don't care, the whole goal of the show, dude, do you think we've gone? I think YouTube sent me a stat the other day. YouTube regularly emails me or pings me stats.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand we've picked up 76,000 subscribers this year? Do you really think that we sit here and take things personally and pick up 76,000 subscribers? Like, this is not like
it's
a
comedy.
hobby for us.
You know what it is for me, dude? Personally, it's comedy. The reason I wanted to read that, it's hilarious to me that people do this every single, like, it's got to be probably 2-3 times a month that it'll happen. Somebody who's not a regular comes in here, has a take, they can't back up. Then when they get slapped in the face with facts and numbers and, you know, actual like statistics and stuff, then they're like, oh, well, you guys are just like, dude, we see this cycle regularly, dude. It's not special or unique.
It's just sports
Yeah.
talk. It's not brain surgery. We're not fighting wars. We're talking about sports.
Yeah,
man. Fat Jesus, I'm flying Frontier this afternoon. They charge extra if you want to talk to the person next. How many people fly Frontier? Seriously. I've never flown Frontier. After that turboprop flight I took one year from LA I was terrified everybody was terrified on that flight. Never got on another Frontier plane.
Yeah.
Never. Yes. Here you have to agree to disagree. It's just it's not personal, man. Both the Tigers and Padres have subscriptions for season passes without actual guaranteed seats. Just get in the door for a low price. Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
And I think, I was going to say, in a town like San Diego, that's a great idea. Hey, here's a monthly cost that you can pay that'll get you in the ballpark. Dude, you know how many ball games I would go to if I had a major league team in my market down the street? Like if you live in downtown San Diego and you could go and spend 90 minutes in the park and have a hot dog, like I would be doing that a lot of weeknights.
Eric and Charlotte, wait, you actually prep for the show? No freaking way.
Yeah, no way, dude. No way. It's not possible.
I think people are so conditioned for poorly informed sports takes.
Yeah.
I understand why guys like Vlad are rat asses and they take everything personally, because you expect to be able to say things that are just simply factually inaccurate and not be checked on it.
Yeah.
There you go. Vlad chose violence. He used "you don't know history." Exactly.
Yeah,
I always love the guy who's like, you don't know Boise State football, bro. Okay. Okay.
Cool,
That's
man. Cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. Great.
It's why we don't read your comments anymore.
Yeah. Nice, dude.
Big Papa War Machine. Man can only afford Spirit is his problem. Well, they never fly in Spirit. You're a bot, Bay Area, and could be a bot.
Yeah, maybe it is.
Yeah, I'm definitely a bot. I think I do think that you are a bot. Frontier, negative, never.
Yeah.
NEVA, never.
Yeah, I don't know that I fly enough or travel enough yet in my life to pay the like if it was $1,000 a month for Delta, I don't know that I could do that.
I agree. Tom Dean, Vlad, is that you, Aaron Rodgers?
Dude,
are you vaxxed, Vlad?
Dude,
yeah, I've been immunized.
We're gonna need you to tell us your vaccination status before you comment. I don't know if I'm a bot. This could all be a simulation.
The coronavirus.
VR, dude. You know. I'm just saying. You know. Let's see. Joey B. Monty Show Sports. Water heaters, Mrs. Monty's Athleta Addiction, Glass Cutters, and Golf. Top 5 shows on YouTube.
Excuse me. It's a hot water heater, please. We were corrected on that, okay?
Hot water heater. You know. Eric in Botland, North Carolina.
That's right.
I've been slapped and I'm still standing. I'm a man. I'm 47.
I give you credit, bro. You've had your fair share of heated moments on this show, Grim, and you still here.
Dev MC, Frontier flights itself isn't really a problem anymore. It's more the insecure scheduling and business model that drives me away.
Yeah, seriously.
You know what? You know why I fly Delta? I don't want the 7-mile walk at Salt Lake Airport. I live in Salt Lake City. The airport to get to American, United, Southwest, dude,
Gates.
it's quite literally a mile more than a mile walk. It's ridiculous. UW fan Jim, have an awesome holiday. Appreciate you. Tom Dean, Vlad is the kind of guy who thinks Arizona is in the Pacific time zone. Exactly right. Exactly right. The pass is easy money. Get on a plane to Vegas on a Tuesday, suck it up for 2 hours. You're in a new place in 2 hours. It's awesome. I think there is something to be said for that take.
I
don't disagree with that at all.
And what's really curious to me, and this is why the Delta conversation I think is really fascinating. So if an airline like Delta, industry leader, top of the mountain kind of brand for an airline, if they were to go to a monthly setup, you would see this wave of everybody else follow them. But Frontier is doing this to try to go against the grain and pick up business. And I respect that. I think it's a really smart play by them. They're a smaller airline. They're typically regional. You're not getting on Frontier to fly to Paris for Christmas, right? You're doing the Vegas trip like he's explained here.
Yep.
Like, so to me, let's say that you have a job where you travel a lot around the Western region or around the Midwest or a portion of the country, this is brilliant.
It is brilliant.
Right? Like you could have a monthly cost and you're doing your once a week flight. Like in that setup, it makes sense. But I think the problem that the bigger airlines would have is when you're doing international stuff at the rate that Delta is, let's say, making that cost work and getting enough people to do it. I just don't know if it's possible.
We flew Hawaiian first class to Maui. I think it was worth it. But the funny thing about first class is there's no legroom if you sit in the first row. On Hawaiian, you cannot sit in the first row. Like a guy that's tall like me, I can't sit in the first row on Hawaiian. You put me in the second row, plenty of legroom.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Tanner Plummer flew Canadian Air to Vancouver one time, and the plane was like 20 years old. Felt like the plane was going to fall apart any second. Isn't it weird where our minds go when we're flying?
Dude.
Yeah. Ferris, Carlsbad deciding whether to allow American Airlines flights to Phoenix. Ooh. Could you imagine flying Carlsbad to Phoenix?
Yeah, see, that's another regional, 90-minute flight.
I might do that. That could be a game changer, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Though? I think you're right. Vlad is the kind of guy who takes up both armrests on the Frontier flight. Could be. I don't think Vlad's bad. I just think this show is not the show where you show up and you start blasting people.
Yeah. That ain't gonna
right?
happen,
Like
bro.
it just isn't. Yeah. What's the point? Nice try living in LA and using LAX. Have to be there an hour before to even have a chance to be on time.
Long Beach, bro. You got to do it.
But or SNA.
Or SNA. Yeah, SNA as well.
Yeah, my wife loves flying into Long Beach, and I think it's a great airport. I do. I love it. Hey, Marty, Jake, happy birthday. Enjoy your holiday vacation.
I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate
All right.
you.
Yeah. Have you flown Emirates? Not yet.
No, that's
and
on the
trust
list,
me,
though.
I said not yet. Delta credit card with $550 annual fee is total value hack. It pays for itself with a free ticket and a companion ticket. The Sky Lounge is so super deluxe. I get upgraded 50% of the time. We both have. I have the Delta card, and I think it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've really switched all my spend to Bonvoy because now you just get so much for it. Tom Dean. Vlad seems to have left. His mom said it was time to go get out of the basement and take out the trash. Yeah, it's not like that. I understand what you're saying. Airlines like Spirit and Frontier are the best for people not checking bags. 100%.
Agreed.
Yes, Burbank is a great airport to fly into. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Facts and donuts. Yes, it is. And I think it's appropriate. Tanner, you get the last comment of the year on the Monty Show. Here's our trip. So tonight I leave for St. George, stopping in St. George, then driving to LA tomorrow and going to play Pelican Hill in Laguna on Friday. Taking a rest day Saturday in San Diego. Sunday we play Torrey Pines, which is going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Monday. What's Monday?
Anaheim Hills.
Anaheim Hills. Tuesday, the 24th, we're playing the Ranch at Laguna, which is one of the best courses in Southern California. Christmas Day, nothing. The 26th, we're playing the Troon course. The Troon course. Monarch Bay.
Yeah. The Links at Monarch Bay.
The Links at Monarch Bay. Then Mrs. Monty and I go.
And that was on the Troon Pass. Speaking
that's
of
on
passes.
the Troon Pass.
Yeah.
The Troon Pass is already worth it.
Yeah.
Mrs. Monty and I then head to Lake Las Vegas to play around there and have, if you're in Las Vegas, Nora's Italian food.
Bomb.
Phenomenal. And then we head up to St. George to play the Ledges. And then we head back to the crib. And then it's 2025.
And then we settle down for the long winter.
It's going to go like that.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, we'll be in CES playing Copper Rock on the way back.
Yeah.
And then, can you guys believe that 2024 is over? I cannot believe that 2024 is over.
Already,
I just
man.
cannot. I am amazed at how fast this year went. And again, I really appreciate everybody that subscribes to the channel. Please hit the like button on the way out the door, because that's it. It's a wrap. We'll see you, I think, January 2nd will be our first show back.
Yep.
So we'll see you January 2nd. Vlad, I hope you're here January 2nd. Everybody else, have a great new year. Thanks for being here. The Advocates. Clear, risk-free advice. Hook it up at theadvocates.com. Until 2025, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.